Hey there friends, how you doing? I know it's been a while since I posted any kind of vids or any kind of a rant or anything, but I don't plan my videos out. I don't plan my rants out. Usually it's as the results of some type of event. It's a response to something that happens. So I'm sorry you haven't seen me lately, or maybe I'm not sorry because maybe you don't want to see me, but whatever the case is, something's happened, so I felt I had to respond to it. And what am I going to rant about today? Vegans. Fucking vegans. And let me clarify here where I'm going with this. I have no problem with someone who wants to live a vegan lifestyle. If that's what works for you, then I say go for it. If it gets you into better health, then I say go for it. If it's something that is going to promote the kind of well-being that you want out of life, then I say go for it. And I'm not going to debate the whole whether it is a good diet or it's a bad diet, whether you get all of the essential vitamins and minerals and nutrients your body needs. That's not what the conflict is for me. The conflict for me is that percentage of vegans who think that because they're vegans, they have the morally superior position in regards to their humanity. When the fuck did that happen? Did I miss a fucking meeting? Did I not get a memo? When did the decision to not eat meat make you a morally superior human being? I just don't remember when that happened at all. I don't recall that being anything that should have been part of the discussion. Sorry about that. I had to go, you heard my phone ringing, so I had to go check, and I'm sorry, I don't want to buy anything from any telemarketer, so they can just suck it. Anyways, the point I was trying to make was that when did this happen? When did this decision that I'm going to be a total vegan lifestyle, I'm going to promote the whole vegan lifestyle, I'm going to live the whole vegan lifestyle, mean that you now had the morally superior position in regards to our humanity? I don't remember that ever being established by any pure objective source. And the thing that bothers me is that when I have in my life been confronted by vegans who have actually told me this and said, you know what you're doing is wrong, and it's immoral and it's unethical, and you need to be like us. And it was like being at church. It was like they were standing on a pulpit, with their vegan Bible, telling me that I'm committing this terrible sin because I'm having a fucking pork chop. So I just don't understand where that, I kind of understand where it comes from, I think. And in my opinion, and I could be wrong, this is just me thinking, everyone knows that, sometimes I don't always think along a very straight line, but this is where I think this whole ideology comes from. It comes from two things. First, it comes from the fact that they believe that there's so much animal cruelty in regards to the manufacturing of meat products that they just shouldn't be a part of it. They shouldn't have anything to do with it. And I think I can understand that a little bit because it's true. There is animal cruelty within the livestock market. There is indeed a great amount of cruelty in some places around the world. The Europeans don't have the greatest report when it comes to how well they take care of their livestock and how humane they are. And Asia is even worse. Well, I don't know about that for all of Asia. I know that in China there's a large concern about animal cruelty. But just as there are farmers who are cruel to their livestock, who are completely inhumane to their livestock, you got to understand that there are those who are not, who actually engage in humane treatment of their livestock. It's not like they're out there just torturing them and then putting them to death and then putting them on our dinner plates. There actually are those who do respect the fact that these are living creatures and they are being as, I don't want to use the word gentle, but they're being as humane as possible when you think about the fact that they're livestock. So I don't think that that argument holds true, that you shouldn't be doing this because of all the violent, inhumane treatment. Believe me, I am on board with the whole idea of that there should be legislation that prevents that kind of thing, because I say, why not? And the reason I say that is because a lot of the inhumane treatment that goes on with animals is really because of economic factors. It's not entirely out of safety concerns or health concerns. It's because it makes it easier for the company that's using the livestock to engage in the whole processing of the livestock. So I think that there should be some type of legislation on the books that says, let's not be inhuman. Let's actually have some humane treatment. Yes, we are using these animals as food products, but just because that's true, it doesn't mean we have to go out of our way to be cruel bastards. So I am on board with the vegans who think, yes, let's have some legislation in place for that, but I'm not on board with the idea that, oh, if you raise livestock, that means you're just some butchering bastard who doesn't care about what you've got, and you're just going to go out of your way to be as inhumane and cruel as possible. I'm not on board with that at all. The second place where this whole ideology stems from, in my opinion, is because vegans are possessed with this idea that every living thing has an inherent right to life. Let me explain something to you, folks. There are no such thing as rights. And I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying that, but there isn't. There is no such thing as rights. Rights are a convention of civilization. The reason that we have rights is because when we started to become a civilized species, we wanted us to have the things that we know that were going to make us happy in this civilization. And because we wanted them personally, we knew that other people were going to want them personally. So we had to sort of guarantee that everyone was going to have this right. So for example, the right to defense. Boy, that sounds lame, the right to defense. But what I mean is the right to having yourself and your property defended. So every civilization has always had its police forces, its militias, its military forces that were made to protect the property and the citizens of its civilization, because we felt we have a right to that. And everyone else agreed, we should do that. When it came to things like, well, if this is mine, then it should stay mine. And if you take it from me, I should have the right to see you brought to justice. So because we felt we had rights, we started laws. And the point I'm trying to make is that all of these things are an invention of the human mind. They are an invention of civilization. They don't exist naturally. There is no such thing as an inherent natural right to life. It does not exist. If I was to drop you in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, butt naked, and 1,000 sharks were descending upon you, or more like swimming towards you, they're not descending unless sharks have wings. I've never seen a shark with a wing. Oh, that would be pretty cool, though. That's something to think about. Anyways, if you suddenly had all these sharks that were suddenly swimming towards you, you could look up at the sky and scream to the top of your lungs that you have a right to life. But you know what? Neither the sky, the ocean, or the sharks are going to give a shit. There's no such thing as a right to life. Every day, hundreds of species go extinct. Hundreds. And not because man is poisoning their environment or destroying their environment or just killing them off. It's because they couldn't adapt fast enough to their environment and their ecology, so they go extinct. Well, what about them? Don't they have a right to life? Evidently not. There is only survival and not survival. There's only what you choose to do to survive and what you choose not to do to survive. We have chosen the fact that because we are omnivorous, we have learned that we can grow livestock, we can raise livestock, we can process livestock into products that will enable us to survive. Now, the vast majority of people are removed from that process, so they don't see it. But I can guarantee you that they say, you know what? I'm sorry, this is about survival. It's not about being cruel and inhumane. It's about surviving. We want to survive by this method. There's no inherent right or wrong in it. It's just surviving. So let's get off this whole right to life thing. The whole right to life thing is not something that is applicable in the world without civilization. It only exists in our minds. It only exists within our cultures, within our societies. There is no such thing as rights. And I hate to be callous about it, but that's the way it is. So that's my whole rant on vegans and their whole morally superior attitude. I just don't get where it comes from, and I call bullshit on it. I don't think because you decide not to eat meat, it puts you in any type of morally superior position at all. If you're in a morally superior position, that means you would have a morally superior attitude about everything. And I got to tell you that there are vegans out there who do not have that at all. Plus, I would like to know what morally objective source has crowned vegans with this morally superior position. Because so far, I haven't seen any one true objective source of morality in my entire life. And I don't care what name you want to give it. Whether you give it the collective unconscious, whether you call it God, Gaia, Allah, Frank down at the barber shop, I don't care. I haven't seen it. So until you produce it, vegans, you can take your whole morally superior attitude and get the fuck away from me with it. Please. I'm asking you nicely. If you don't like the fact I eat meat, fine. But if you're going to let that be the only thing that defines me, then I don't have a use for you. Okay? So you just stay on your side of the fence. I'll stay on my side of the fence. You can go hug a tree and eat some herbs while I'm grilling up a porterhouse. Okay? And we can both be happy. Thank you.